Well, hello everyone, and thank you for checking out my guitar cover of Wipeout. I really appreciate you stopping by the channel. Now, back in 1986, when I was learning how to play the guitar, the Surfaris Wipeout was a song that inspired me to play, and it was a song that I wanted to learn on the guitar. Now, if my memory serves me right, it was my dad that picked up the 45 single for me to listen to, but it could have been my mom, I'm not sure. But the record that I had was the single that was released on MCA Records back in the 80s. And it was the very first time that I heard the song Surfer Joe. Now, the Surfaris Wipeout isn't just an iconic surf song, it's a song that's known all over the world. It's been featured in over 20 films and television series since its release. And it's certainly one of the most recognizable and iconic guitar riffs in popular music. And it's a riff that I'm sure that many guitarists have either tried to learn perfectly or at least noodled around with. But one of the things that really comes to mind when I think of this song was sitting in school behind my desk just tapping the drum part. How many of you done that? Let me know. I know you've done it too. Now friends, let's take a few minutes and talk about this iconic song recorded by the Surfaris 59 years ago. Now, the Surfaris were formed in Glendora, California. They were all teenagers. Now, on a very cold night in December of 1962, the band traveled to Cucamonga to PAL Recording Studios to record their song Surfer Joe on a 45. Now, after the Surfaris finished recording Surfer Joe, the sound engineer chimed in and said, "All right, boys, what's your second song for your 45? But the Surfaris didn't have another song written. So instead of putting Surfer Joe on side B also, they wrote another song really quickly right on the spot right there in the studio. And it's been said they came up with the song really quickly in about 10 minutes. And that song that they came up with, well, it became one for the history books. And we all know that song today as Wipeout. And I'm sure these young high school boys never would have imagined that a song that they came up with right on the spot for a side B of their single would become a song that would be known all around the world. Now, on rhythm guitar you had Bob Berryhill, and on lead guitar you had Jim Fuller, who was just 15 years old. And on that recording, Jim played his Fender Duo Sonic with a Fender reverb unit plugged into a Fender Champ. Now, after the Surfaris finished recording the song, they needed a title for it. And one of the first things they thought of calling it was Switchblade. And while they were discussing the name of the song, their bass player came over to the microphone and busted a piece of plywood over it, making a sound of a busted surfboard. Now, there was already a song called Bustin' Surfboard, so they couldn't use that. And then all of a sudden, their manager walked out of the control room over to the microphone in the studio and did this crazy high-pitched cackle laugh and said the words, "Wipeout." And that, my friends, became the actual take that you hear on the recording. Now, sadly, friends, Jim Fuller passed away back in 2017, but his iconic riff played on Wipeout lives on forever. But friends, the Surfaris are still going strong. Original founding member Bob Berryhill is still keeping the name alive. He's still playing, he's still performing. I believe now the band consists of himself, his wife, and his 2 sons, and they're keeping the Surfaris name still alive and still going. And you know what's amazing? Him and the other Surfaris recorded that song when they were 15, 16 years old, and he's still playing it today. He's still doing what he loves. And that, my friends, is what truly living life is all about. Now, if you like this lesson today, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. This will keep you up to date on all my newest guitar lessons. And really quickly, friends, I'd just like to mention that I have some great full-length courses on rockabilly guitar and on jump blues guitar. They're available at my website at DamianBacci.com. And now, before I go, I'd like to leave you with some inspiring words by Martin Luther King Jr. Here it is. The quality, not the longevity, of one's life is what is important. And with that, friends, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Much love to everybody. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon in another guitar lesson. Bye-bye, everyone.